The last part of Dr. Dolittle's travels. Polynesia sneaks into Dr. Dolittle's prison cell, where he and the animals are anxious about their captivity. She tells him that the prince will visit, having convinced him that Dr. Dolittle possesses magical powers and that he wants to become a hero in a fairy tale. Dr. Dolittle responds with hesitation, as he knows nothing of magic, but Polynesia and Dab-Dab encourage him to devise a plan to take advantage of the situation. He tells them he will need time to think about how to help them. When the prince arrives, he appears nervous but tries to maintain a calm demeanor. He expresses his desire to be a hero like the characters in stories, who are brave and glamorous. Dr. Dolittle understands his request and tells him he needs to prepare a magical potion to help him achieve this. As Dr. Dolittle mixes some liquids, which are really just water, he gives the prince the potion and instructs him to drink it in 3 sips. After he drinks, the prince wonders about the changes he should expect but feels nothing significant. Dr. Dolittle reassures the prince, saying that the animals appear anxious, indicating that something special is happening. The prince begins to imagine his new appearance and expresses his joy at the thought of becoming a hero. He asks Dr. Dolittle to describe how he looks, feeling relieved when told he has become like the heroes from the stories. Once the prince is convinced he has transformed, Dr. Dolittle requests that he release them. The prince agrees eagerly and promises to take them home. However, Dr. Dolittle warns him to stay away from the moonlight for a while, so the potion's effects don't wear off. After their release, the prince takes them to the sea and gives them a ship to return home. The guards express concern about the king's reaction, but the prince assures them he will handle it. Before they leave, Dr. Dolittle and the animals say goodbye to Chi-Chi, Polynesia, and the crocodile, who have decided to stay in Africa. Dr. Dolittle and his friends sail back to Puddleby, passing the Barbary coast, notorious for pirates lurking around sailors' ships. These pirates are brave yet villainous, often attacking and plundering vessels. On a sunny day, while the ship carrying Dr. Dolittle and Dab-Dab sails through calm waters, Dab-Dab spots another ship with a red sail approaching. She feels uneasy and tells Dr. Dolittle the sail does not look friendly. Jip, the dog, is asleep on the deck and starts talking in his sleep about the smell of smoked meat, puzzling Dr. Dolittle. When Jip wakes up, he senses danger and begins to bark, confirming that pirates are approaching. Dr. Dolittle realizes the enemy ship is speeding toward them and orders more sails to be raised to increase their speed, but despite their efforts, the other ship is faster. As the pirates close in, everyone feels tense. Dr. Dolittle suggests that Dab-Dab inform the paradise birds of their predicament for help. Upon hearing this, the paradise birds quickly cooperate and ask Dr. Dolittle to untie some ropes. They tie the ropes to the front of the ship and fly into the sky, pulling the ship with strength. Though the paradise birds are small, their collective power enables the ship to move at an astonishing speed. Dr. Dolittle and his animals are amazed by the ship's newfound speed and start to feel at ease as the pirate ship gradually falls behind. The paradise birds pull the ship through the sea. After an hour of hard work, the birds indicate they need to rest. Determined to reach a nearby island where they can rest their wings, they approach the shore, and Dr. Dolittle informs the animals they can disembark. As they leave the ship, Dr. Dolittle notices hundreds of rats climbing aboard. Among them, a large black rat approaches Dr. Dolittle shyly and warns him that the ship is not safe, the sides are weak and the planks are rotting, meaning it could sink soon. Dr. Dolittle asks how the rat knows this, and the rat explains they feel danger in their tails, which is a sign the ship is not sound. The rat then advises them to find a safe place to stay on the island and bids Dr. Dolittle farewell. After the rat departs, Dr. Dolittle and his animals head to the beach to fetch water, marveling at the island's beauty. They listen to the beautiful singing of canaries and decide to explore the island. They ask the birds for help, and they joyfully take Dr. Dolittle to the island's waterfalls and fields, where they discover a spring of fresh water. Everyone enjoys nature, with the animals eating green grass and playing in the valley. Suddenly, two paradise birds fly towards them and inform them that the pirates have reached the shore and are now aboard their ship. Dr. Dolittle asks if all the pirates are on the ship, and the birds confirm this. Dab Dab suggests that the presence of pirates on the ship means it might be empty. Dr. Dolittle realizes this is a good opportunity. He gathers all his animals and tells them they must move quickly to the pirate ship. They hurry to the beach, where they find the pirate ship anchored and deserted. Dr. Dolittle's plan is to sneak aboard the ship and seize it. Once they are aboard, Dr. Dolittle and his friends are safe, as they slowly pull up the anchor to leave the cove. However, Jip the pig sneezes loudly, drawing the pirates' attention. Upon hearing the sneeze, the pirates rush up from the lower deck. They see the ship sailing away and hastily pursue it. Their leader, known as the Dragon of the Barbary Coast, appears strong and confident, threatening Dr. Dolittle and his animals, demanding they give up Jip and Dab Dab as their dinner. Fear grips the animals' hearts, with Jip showing his fright and breaking down in tears, while Dab Dab prepares to find a way to escape. Tutu the owl whispers to Dr. Dolittle to stay calm and not provoke the pirates, while reminding him that the rat was right about the ship sinking. As the pirates continue to mock and laugh, they begin to notice something strange. Water is seeping into the ship rapidly, and the pirate leader starts shouting that they must escape. The ship is indeed sinking, and water begins to engulf it. The pirates find themselves in a panic as the bow of the ship tilts and starts to submerge. The ship completely sinks, forcing the pirates to jump into the water. While some try to swim to shore, Jip, Dr. Dolittle's loyal dog, guards the railing, preventing any pirates from boarding their ship. The pirates scream in terror as a group of sharks appears, and one shark starts talking to Dr. Dolittle, expressing its familiarity with him. The sharks offer to devour the pirates, but Dr. Dolittle requests they keep them in the water until he departs, stating he wants no violence. The sharks agree and begin to encircle the pirates. Before leaving, Dr. Dolittle talks to the pirates, urging them to stop their pirating ways and warning them that all the animals will be watching them. The pirates realize Dr. Dolittle has power and authority, and their leader begins to consider their options. They are suggested to learn farming as a means to make a living instead of stealing. Though hesitant, the pirates agree to become farmers, saying, "We will be farmers and live a peaceful life." Dr. Dolittle remains cautious, assuring them that the animals will monitor them to ensure they do not return to their old ways. The pirates then swim towards the shore, and Dr. Dolittle and his animals sail away once more. Dr. Dolittle watches the ship fade from view, wondering about the monkeys in Puddleby. Dab Dab expresses her admiration for the ship, describing its beautiful lower deck, adorned with luxurious silk upholstery and silver plates. She also points out a locked room believed to hold the pirates' treasures. When Dr. Dolittle decides to open the room, all the animals gather around the closed door, but they cannot open it. They start searching for the key, lifting rugs and rummaging through drawers, but find nothing. Everyone gathers around the door in confusion. Suddenly, Tutu interjects and asks everyone to pause for a moment, claiming she hears a sound coming from inside. Others doubt her hearing, but Tutu insists she hears someone. Curiosity grows, and Dr. Dolittle wonders what is happening. Tutu requests to be lifted near the keyhole, where she begins to describe what she hears. She indicates that the person on the other side is scratching his face and seems sad, crying softly, trying to stifle his sobs. Dr. Dolittle takes Tutu's words seriously, feeling concerned about the sorrowful person in the room. He decides they must open the door to see what is happening. He asks the animals to find an axe to break down the door. When the animals locate an axe, Dr. Dolittle uses it to break open the locked door. After opening the door, they enter a small dark room without windows, where they find a small boy, about 8 years old, crying bitterly. When the boy sees Dr. Dolittle, he feels afraid at first, but he stops crying as soon as Dr. Dolittle laughs. The boy asks the doctor if he is a pirate, and when he realizes he is not, he feels relieved. He explains that the pirates captured his uncle while they were fishing together. The boy tells Dr. Dolittle that his uncle was taken away after refusing to join the pirate crew. He expresses his deep concern, having been locked in the room for over a week without any news of his uncle. Dr. Dolittle reassures the boy and promises to look for his uncle. He asks for details about his uncle, and the boy describes him as tall with a ship called the Brave Sally. After the boy finishes speaking, he feels tired and falls asleep for a bit. Once Dr. Dolittle regains his composure, he calls on a group of dolphins known as the ocean chatterers, who know everything happening in the sea. He inquires about the tall red-haired fisherman and receives news that the ship, the Brave Sally, has sunk, but the boy's uncle did not drown, which brings some hope to the boy's heart. Dr. Dolittle decides to form search teams from the animals, and Tutu and Dab Dab agree to fly over the water to look for the uncle. Meanwhile, the paradise birds take on the search task as well. Dr. Dolittle instructs them to ask anyone they see about the tall red-haired man. During this time, the animals entertain the boy aboard the ship, playing and having fun with him. The boy is amazed by the bushmilio creature. Dab Dab and Tutu realize they cannot search everywhere alone, so Tutu goes to speak with the eagles. She finds a black eagle, a bald eagle, and a golden eagle, and they agree to search the jungles, forests, and mountains for the boy's uncle. The next day, the eagles return to the ship and tell Dr. Dolittle they have not seen the man described, but they will continue searching. Jip, the dog, suggests he search for the uncle using his sense of smell. Dab Dab wonders how he can do that in the middle of the ocean, but he insists he can succeed. Dr. Dolittle asks the boy if he has anything belonging to his uncle, and he gives him a gold ring. But Jip sees the ring is not helpful and asks for something made of cloth. Dr. Dolittle gets a red headband from the boy, allowing Jip to sniff it. Jip reassures everyone that he will find the uncle. Days go by, and Jip struggles with the winds, as he can only smell scents blowing from the east, with no trace of the uncle. But one day, the winds shift from the west, giving Jip the opportunity to begin his search. Jip directs Dr. Dolittle toward the right path, leading them to a large rock. He insists he smells the uncle nearby, but they find nothing on the rock. However, one of the paradise birds informs them of a large opening in the rock. Dr. Dolittle decides to anchor near the rock and climbs it. He finds an opening leading to a cave and enters, striking a match. As visibility improves, he discovers the boy's uncle is sleeping deeply inside the cave. When Dr. Dolittle and his animals find the uncle, the boy is overjoyed to see him, who tells them he was left alone on the rock after refusing to join the pirates. The uncle expresses immense gratitude for being rescued. They head to the uncle's town, where the townspeople warmly welcome them as their boat docks at the harbor. The boy happily shares stories of their adventures, assuring everyone that Jip is the one who saved them. The boy hugs his mother tightly, and the mayor expresses gratitude to Dr. Dolittle for his help. The mayor proposes a celebratory feast in honor of Dr. Dolittle and all the animals. The townspeople prepare food and decorations, throwing a lively celebration, where Jip is gifted a golden necklace inscribed, "Presented to Jip, the finest dog in the world." Jip is proud of the gift and feels happy amidst the festive atmosphere. The next morning, Dr. Dolittle and his animals prepare to leave. Despite invitations to stay until winter, Dr. Dolittle insists on returning home after a long absence. The townspeople wave them goodbye. Dr. Dolittle and his animals reach home, but he does not go back immediately. Instead, he sends the ship to his fisherman friend, hoping he will enjoy the new vessel. Dr. Dolittle continues his tours with the bushmilio, showcasing him in various towns to attract visitors. Circus men express interest in buying the bushmilio for a large sum, but Dr. Dolittle refuses, stating he is his friend and cannot sell him, having promised to return him home if he feels homesick. Dr. Dolittle decides to go back home. Upon arriving, he finds everything well, with the old horse taking care of the house. Everyone warmly welcomes the doctor back, and life returns to normal for Dr. Dolittle and his animals. In Africa, the monkeys remember Dr. Dolittle's visit and talk about his adventures with them. They feel close to the doctor, even from afar, confident he will return when they need him. The story is over. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you in more stories.